Hi, welcome to day 2 of our 30-day yoga therapy challenge. So like yesterday, we're going to continue exploring some movement of our arms. So yesterday we focused mostly on range of motion, what is available to us without compensating. Today, while we're also working on range of motion and mobility, I want us to really kind of focus on what feels the best for us. So I'm going to give you some options and I want you to explore and honor what feels better, this option or maybe somewhere in between. So let's begin by coming into a comfortable seat, and that might mean sitting on an object like a block or a chair. It might mean sitting cross-legged or being in standing. So I'm going to invite you to come into a position that feels comfortable for you. Okay, and before we get too comfortable, for today's practice, we're going to use a couple props. So if you have a water bottle, grab a water bottle. And that's really all you need, but if you also have a strap and a block, grab those as well. And then we'll get started. So put the video on pause, grab what you need, and then come on back and join us. Okay, so coming back into a comfortable position, whether sitting or standing, and we'll just take a moment to ground and center ourselves. So like we did yesterday, let's just take a moment to connect with our environment, the space that you're in. So look around, looking at all the objects, taking in their shape, their color, their size, maybe texture. Notice the temperature of the space that you're in. If there are any smells, maybe there are people or animals or something else. We're just orienting to our external environment. And then we're going to start to orient into our internal environment, our body. So using your hands, maybe giving your legs a little rub, inviting sensation and experience into the legs. Maybe looking at the legs as you give them a little rub, or you can do a little pat down. You don't need to spend a lot of time on that. And then just pause and sense what you feel through your legs. Maybe there's more presence and awareness there. And we can do the same thing for the arms. It's kind of like waking up our body, becoming aware that our limbs are our limbs, our arms are our arms, our legs are our legs. And a little pause. Hello, arms. And maybe doing the same thing for our torso and our back, maybe the hips. So you decide what needs your attention. Maybe it's the head. Just giving my skull a nice little rub. Oh, it feels so good. Maybe your face needs some attention. Again, skip what doesn't need attention. Do more of what does need attention. And then we'll just come into a nice quiet stillness for a moment. Eyes can be opened or closed. And we'll just connect with our breath. Aware of the air coming in through the nostrils as you inhale. And aware of the breath coming out of the nostrils as you exhale. You might be aware of your breath in other parts of your body. Just notice what you notice. You don't need to make anything happen or manufacture your breath in any way. You're just noticing. All right. If your eyes are closed, gently open your eyes. And let's go into our first movement for our shoulders or for our arms. So we're going to start by bringing one arm up to the side, my arm straight up from my shoulder, but if you feel more comfortable a little bit higher or lower, you're going to choose the option or the variation that feels the best for you. So we don't want to feel, pinching through our shoulder blade or our neck. So be where you feel comfortable. And then in this position, we're going to start to take the arm back in little circles. Feeling how your arm bone moves in the shoulder socket. So we've got a neutral spine. There isn't any twisting or back bending. Just breathing gently through your nose. And then we're going to pause. And then if it feels okay, maybe take your arm back an inch or two. And we'll hold. And in this new position, we're going to do 10 more little circles up the arm. So movement might feel a little bit more limited, or it might feel a little bit more challenging, or maybe fatigue is starting to set in. Let's do a couple more. Breathing in and out through the nose. And we can pause. And without forcing, let your arm float back only as far as it will go on its own. Take a full breath. And then let the arm come back down and release. And then notice how the arm, shoulder feel. Oftentimes in standing, if you have a mirror, the arm that you just worked on will be hanging a little bit lower than the other arm because you had a nice release. Or maybe you can just feel it without having to see it. And then when you're ready, oops, we're going to do the same thing on the other side, letting your arm come up to a height where it feels comfortable. And then we'll start taking the arm back in little circles. So make sure that your movement is coming through the upper arm. It's not happening at the elbow. So right now I'm moving my lower arm, but I'm not moving my upper arm. Or some people can have a pattern where they're moving through their ribs and they're not actually moving their upper arm. So upper arm, just going back. Tiny movements, it doesn't have to be big. Nice. Okay, let's pause. And then maybe the arm comes back half an inch, an inch or 2 inches. And then we'll do the little circles again. And if it feels a little bit slower. One more. And then pause. Without forcing, let the arm float back. Take a full breath. And then the arm can come back to the center and release. Beautiful. Notice how that arm and shoulder feel. Hopefully a bit more balance. Now let's move into the shoulder blades. Inhaling, the blades come up, and exhaling, the blades come down. And as you explore this, notice where the movement is coming from. Are the blades initiating the movement? Or are your traps, or the top of your shoulders coming up towards your ears? Or is something else happening? So if you can, see if you can connect with the shoulder blades on your back. And let them draw up and down, making the movement as big or as small as it feels right for you right now. And maybe you add on. Maybe you inhale the blades up, and then as you exhale, squeeze the blades together towards your spine and release them down on the exhale. Inhale, blades up, and then exhale together and down. So there's 2 options there, blades up and down, or you can add the squeezing together. Make sure whatever you choose feels good. I'll do 1 or 2 more. All right. Our next exercise is where we're going to use our water bottle, or your block, or your strap, or a combination of all 3. You can just kind of be creative with whatever. If you have like a small pillow or a piece of clothing, Or just be creative. So we're gonna start, you can stay sitting. I'm actually gonna come up standing on my knees. You could come up to standing on your feet. And if you are on your feet, just take a moment to sense the center of your heels, the base of your big toes and the base of your baby toes, as if each foot is standing on a tripod, so we have a nice solid base. If you're standing on your knees, you might like to fold a blanket or do something that feels a little bit softer. All right, so let's begin by just keeping a neutral spine. So that means we're not going to back bend and we're not going to arch. And take your first object, so it's the water bottle, and start to take your arms out a little bit in front, and you can reach the arms away from you, maybe drawing the arm bones back into the socket. It's kind of like we did with the arms to sky yesterday, or just push away. See what does your body want to do? Does it want to push? Does it want to pull in? You can bring your arms up to shoulder height. What does that feel like? Maybe a little bit higher. Again, neutral spine, so only bring the arms up as far as the back doesn't arch. Maybe just on your head, you can push your hands into your water bottle or into your block, or maybe pull. Try to pull either end apart. We could also explore bringing the water bottle or the object behind your back and draw it down towards the floor. Maybe try to pull the water bottle or the object apart. Maybe pressing, oh, that doesn't really work very well. But you could try it, see if it works for you. Pressing together. What about extending? So taking the arms back. You take the arms back and reach away. That's creating some strain in my shoulder blade, so I'm going to skip that one. Maybe pulling either end, and pressing together. This is definitely highlighting some weaknesses in my upper arm. So maybe I need to do this a little bit more. So it's kind of interesting. If you're not using a water bottle, you can do the same thing with a block. It might feel different. It might be more accessible to press your hands into the edges of the block in different positions. So we're just exploring. So there's no right or wrong, good or bad. We're just kind of feeling what feels the best for you right now and what you want more of. And then the one that you want more of, do more of that one. A strap might be easier for pulling. So again, different props will make different positions easier or harder. Yeah, the pulling apart feels so good for me today. You might feel like the pressing or just simply extending, just stretching might feel good. So we're just giving ourselves different options, just more variability in our movement and our ability to process slope. All right, and give your arms a little break. Notice what you're feeling. And then we can do a similar exploration, but this time we're going to add extension through your spine if that serves you today. So extension means we're doing a little bit of a back bend through the spine. So we can start by holding your object of choice. I might actually use a strap. And then I have my arms down, and just start to go into a tiny little back bend. And then you can come back out. But notice your breath. Are you able to breathe? Maybe you want to pull the strap. Maybe if you're holding a block, you want to press into the block. See what it feels like with the arms a little bit higher. For me, pulling is like really serving me today. But if you're using a block, like maybe pressing your hands in together as you do a back bend feels really awesome. You could have your hands above your head. Oh, yes, this is what my body wants to do today. You try behind your head. You could explore with your arms behind your back. Oh, this feels nice too. Maybe reaching down, drawing the arms down as you back bend. Maybe there's a desire to push your hands forward and round your back, so coming into flexion. I'm even bending my knees a little bit here. So just take the next moment or two, kind of see how your body wants to move. Like maybe you want to do a little bit of a side bending action. Again, there's no right or wrong. Like the more you do this, the more you explore, you're going to start to find ways that your body wants to move, and that feels really, really good. So I'm going to leave that with you to continue to explore. But I'm also going to wrap up because we're at the 15-minute mark. So let's come back to a comfortable resting position, whether it's sitting or standing, your choice. So wherever you are, we'll begin to come back into stillness, feeling the surface beneath you. So for me, that's my sitting bones on the block, my feet on the ground. Noting your breath, maybe inviting it to slow down. And then bring one hand onto the low belly, and one hand onto your chest. Your eyes can be opened or closed. And as you breathe in, sending the breath down to the bottom hand, and exhale to the top hand. Inhale, bottom hand. Exhale, top hand. 3 more. Let's bring our palms together and rub the hands together in a circle. And switch direction. And up and down. Press your palms together. And then place your hands over your eyes to block out all the light. Take a full breath in through your nose and exhale out your mouth. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your palms together in front of your heart. And let's just take a moment to honor your practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have fun exploring. Bye-bye.